Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of my podcast, To Strive. And today I have a special guest. I just want to share with you how did we met and also, what is our relationship. And at the same time, just bring with you, share a little bit about my friend's journey and how you guys can learn from her journey. So if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Laetitia Parente. I am a content creator based in San Francisco, originally from France. And we met, Ty and I, she was my old roommate. So we were living in this little co-working space during COVID, and she just moved in during COVID, and I was in desperate need, to meet someone to boost my life, and she came in, and I feel like that's fate.
So actually, if you can tell us a little bit about how did you move to the state and what was your journey?
Yes. So I moved in San Francisco about almost 7 years ago. I moved in as an au pair. So the au pair program is based on J1 cultural visitor visa. And so I did like a 1 year program and then extend over 9 months. So from there you have the option to extend after a year, between 6, 9, or up to 1 more year. So in my case I did 9 months, so it's been 1 year and then 9 months. I was an au pair for the same family here in San Francisco, and I have a great experience, very great experience. I was living in a good neighborhood. I was working maybe, I would say, less than 20 hours, which the program was required maximum of 40 hours a week. I only had one kid to take care of, so they basically need me, in my case, to have someone, to basically talk to her in French because she was going to a French school. The parents were both American, and besides that, I have a great experience for my case, yeah.
So what is exactly the au pair mean? Is that French word or?
So it is actually a French word. It's funny that you ask. Yes, it's a French word, but the au pair, it's like a nanny babysitter where you live inside of the family house. Mm-hmm. So they basically, the program basically state that they have to give you a room, they have to feed you, and from there they give you a weekly stipend. So depending on the program and sorry, the state you live in, but for my case, at that year, from 2017 to 2019, it was about $195 weekly, and then from there you have 2 weeks paid vacation. I have more than 2 weeks. I was lucky because they were, like I said, really flexible, and they gave me a lot of free time. And so the requirement was like 40 hours weekly max, but depends again of the family, schedule and lifetime routine.
So how did you actually know about that program from the beginning?
So in my case, I was after I graduated in France with my bachelor degree in HR management. I always wanted to travel, right? But I got at some point in my life that I feel like I was still young and alive, so I was like, I wanted to travel, right? But I just got out from college and I didn't not necessarily have the budget to travel the world. So I guess it was through social media, so how I did my research online, and I found this program. So I thought it was the best for my case because I didn't really have to find a place to live in or anything else you need to do like in adulthood life, right? Because I was living with my parents, so I left my parents' house to live abroad. So it was not that difficult because the program guides you and helps you to find the family you want to live in, and so from there it's all like taken care of. So as long as you match with your family, you just get they actually buy your tickets and everything. So you just need to make sure that you have your passport valid, and yeah, you're ready to go basically. So the whole process took me about, I would say, 2 months to find my family. It's like a matchmaking platform, right? So you they don't want you to pick the family based on the location, right? Because they don't want to.
So the host pretty much have to choose you instead of you choose.
So yes and no. So basically, how it works is like a platform program. I mean, in that case, like my au pair program platform, which was cultural care. But there's plenty of those. And so from there, you have family actually reaching out to you based on your profile, right? You have to also, of course, build your profile to see, and from there they see if they match with your lifestyle and theirs. And from there they reach out to you, right? So you see from there their name, their pictures, their profile. It's like a Tinder profile. I would say it's literally like a dating type of profile, but like
it's just more
right.
It's
Yeah.
babysitting.
And then from there you see the family, reach out to you, send you a message, and you are the one that decide if you want to go forward or not, right? So I saw they were based in San Francisco, and at the time it was just a kid, and I saw like which neighborhood they were living in, their lifestyle, what they were expecting from me, and from there, I mean, obviously I had like, I would say couple like family that reached out to me, but I picked that one based on like mostly like because our lifestyle and interests match the most. And from there, if you both agree, it's like a match basically, and then from there the agency take care of and do all necessary process and steps that you need to do to go forward. But it took me about, I would say, 2 months to find the perfect family for me. And that's it. So I would say I started process in, I would say, April, March, about that time. And I knew that I wanted to leave like end of summer, beginning of September. Like,
Which year was that?
oh, it was 2017.
Okay.
So yeah, so I found my family in 2 months, but I had like, I couldn't leave earlier, right? But they also wanted someone like after summer, like before basically the kid like starts school, right? So kids start school here like mid-August, late August. So as soon as we matched and everything, I did all the necessary things, meaning like I have to go to the embassy to do my visa. So in my case, I lived in south of France, so I had to travel to Paris. Usually it's the capital of the country. So I did my visa interview, stayed a couple days there, and from there, everything was sold off, right? So I just need to enjoy my summer, and then as soon as, the agency sent me the flight tickets, the dates, where I'm leaving, I just need to get ready, pack my luggage, and go.
So what did the agency actually help you in that process?
They help you, so you have to, I didn't state it, but you actually have to, I mean, it's a sort of like small fee that you have to pay them for the process, obviously. But it was, I think, about, I would say, 1,200. So it was not that expensive, knowing that, again, you're gonna get your rent free, you're gonna get your food free. So it was a little investment, but it was not like huge investment, right? So about 1,200, the program fee, and from there, I mean, they help you, how find your family, and from there they do the whole process basically for you. So as soon as you match with your family, you both decide the date that you wanted to leave to live with your family. So my case was 8 of August, so they picked the flight tickets, and that's it basically. Like, I mean, they do a whole process behind, but I'm not sure exactly what, because I was not inside
The process.
yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they were pretty communicative. They will send me all the details and info, flight ticket. I just need to go. They actually told me all the process and the steps I need to do for my visa, right? All the documents that I need for my interview, the whole process was pretty smooth, because I mean, I didn't feel like I was stressed about like living abroad, because I knew I was taken care of. And in my case, again, I'm pretty independent. I'm not really that close to my family, so I didn't feel like a big attachment or big like. I mean, it is a big journey, because that was my first time living abroad, leaving my family. but it was such a great experience. I do not regret at all. Yeah.
So what was your first impression when you actually arrived and stay with
Yeah. So it was my first time going to the States, so I was super excited because I mean, it's you see it as like in the movies, that's basically what I was expecting. As a very easygoing and outgoing person, it was really easy for me to make connection, build friendships. And from there I was going out pretty often. So obviously, as a French, and again, I think it was different also nationalities. We were all building as a community for each neighborhood. So every month we would have a little meetup with other au pairs from different nationality countries, and we'll that's the best way that the agency did to build these connections between us, so then we don't feel too much of homesick, and we have other people to talk about, because we're experiencing the same experience, right? And so from there I would personally, hang out with only French people because I wasn't comfortable yet to hang out with other nationalities, knowing that you have to speak, English all the time. So I hang out mostly with French people for about a month or two, and then from there I wanted to, I was in the US, so I wanted to build connection with locals to improve my English, and I think for me it took about 2 months to really be able to just speak fluently.
You mean English voice?
Yeah, English voice, right? Yeah. And then I think those meetups really helps to find each other into the process.
So did you actually experience any obstacle when you live here, or culture shock?
I personally didn't. I know that some of my peers back then they were feeling really homesick. It was a big difference because I would say mostly for Asian countries, because for them it was very different than their own. But I would say my European fellows or Latinos fellows as well, they didn't see that much of a big difference. I mean, obviously there's some little difference even with Europeans and Americans here as concerning us dating process, the whole dating phase. It's a little bit different, but I'm saying is we both look alike, the same. We have mostly the same lifestyle. There's some minor details that change, but I think for mostly Asian that I was talking to, it was very different. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I think it's totally different because culture-wise and culture shock. So I think I can see the difference that you said, that mostly from Asian. And you can see that too. Even for me, when I moved here, it's a lot of culture shock. So it took, if you said it took you maybe
maybe 2 months. Well, so I mean, it was I said, I'm very, I guess I'm very adaptable. I didn't see that much of a cultural shock, because at the end of the day, I feel how do you compare, or how can you differentiate an American and European at first time, right? First sight, you see physically, I'm talking about, you don't really see that much of a difference. But if you see the Asian and a white person, you see that difference right away.
Yeah.
And then from there, you narrow, right? So you see the type of food they're eating, their lifestyle, and so it doesn't really have a big of a difference. For what they're eating here, we eat as well here, right? Which I feel in Asia, they have more their own food, cuisine, exactly. And then again, I'm talking about the food part, but there's other area as well.
I see. So it's during that time when you do au pair, would you do anything else to actually explore the city, or?
Yeah. So again, I was really lucky to have only one kid to take care of, and I think, I said, I was probably working less than 20 hours. So I have a lot of free time compared to my peers that were working those 40 hours actually a week.
So you can choose. You can choose the hours.
I mean, no, not really. I mean, you negotiate with the family, but when you pick the family, you already, the family expects already that you be working those hours, so you're aware of it. So if you pick that family, you already know that you're going to be working that type of hours. That's why you need to make sure that you pick the right family. Again, if somehow you guys don't meet the expectation, or you don't feel like living with this family anymore, you can always rematch. That's why it's called rematch. So that would be the coordinator, of the agency. There's one for each neighborhood. From there, you live with them. Actually, they have to live in the city and they have to provide you a room in their home. In the meantime, you find another family, and it has to be in between 2 weeks. That was the deadline for you to find another family.
So when you get there, within 2 weeks, it's like a probation period.
Yeah.
So you need to let them know to change.
Exactly. And those 2 weeks, you stay at the coordinator, house. And if you haven't find or rematch, with another family within those 2 weeks, you will have to leave the program. Yeah. So
how many times do you actually change?
Oh, you can. Oh, that's a good question. I think you could change like within the program. I think it was 2 times. But again, if you have to rematch the third time, I think you have to either leave the States because it will have to be another coordinator that will take care of, or you have to leave the program and go back to your home country.
I think that's fair enough because we only have 1 year or so to.
The first year, first the program length the first time, when you arrive, it's 1 year, and then if you want to extend, there's like 6, 9, or 1 more year. Yeah, but in total, it's like a 2 years max.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but like I said, also it's like third time it's like a charm already. It's like really hard.
Yeah.
You cannot even like choose your home or like your family.
Yeah.
I mean, either you're so difficult or you haven't actually fulfilled the job.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's a good point, but because sometimes we see the profile when we get there, but at least they have option for you guys to choose. So at least the people who participate on the program have an option to choose. I think that's fair enough. So during that time, after you actually finish, what was your plan to actually transfer, or was it your journey change after that, or?
Yes, it did, because I have, I guess, such a great experience. I made such amazing connection, and I just love the lifestyle I was living. I mean, initially I was supposed to stay for like a year, like a type of like a gap year, right? Because my goal at the beginning, right, was just to have like this year of like me traveling, experiencing life, abroad, and just like a personal growth as well, and to go back and to finish my education with my master's degree, right? But I just love, I just love my lifestyle here so much that I just wanted to stay longer. So from there, I was lucky to, one of my French au pair had another French friend that was working at this French startup, and they were looking for someone to replace her as HR coordinator. I have an HR degree back then in France, so we did a little interview in person, obviously, and then from there, it worked out pretty well. So we matched, and from there, I had to go back home to my home country to renew my visa. So the visa I had this time is the same one. It was a J1, but it was a training one. So there's 2 type of J1 visa. I would say 2 main categories. So the first one was the one that I did, the cultural exchange visitor, and the second, you have, if you want to work in the States, you have 2 subcategory of J1 visa. You have the training one, the one I did, and you have the intern one. So I did the training because I have one of the requirement for this visa was you have to have a professional experience on this field. So that's why I did the training one, which was about also 24 months. And the intern was more about inexperienced skills, or like still like studying, and you wanted to have a professional experience abroad. So in my case, I took the trainee J1 visa, which allowed me to stay up to 24 months. Sorry, and I was working for this startup as an employee, and I was getting paid less than an employee though, more like an intern. But yeah, from there, it was a good experience. but it didn't last that long because COVID hits at the time. That's why we met. And
We met in actually summer 2020.
yeah, yeah. So from there, I was still working for them, but I got like laid off. I mean, I was working part time, but it was just a question of like big layoff because it was a small business.
Also, they lay off.
At the end, they ended my contract earlier
So-
than expected.
Oh, wow.
Than 24 months. It was like more a year and a half because so if you see the timeline, I got back home to renew my visa in summer 2019, and I came back like September to start, my contract with them. So September 2019, and then COVID hits like what, February, March 2020. So after a few months, I was working for them, not even a year actually. So from there they start, putting me in part time, and then eventually after a year and a half layoff. So we end the contract earlier than expected. So for me it was unexpected, but kind of expected at some point. The thing is that I still wanted to stay in the U.S., right? I didn't want my life ended like this, and for me to go back home. I feel like it was such a waste of years for me to get to where I am, to just go back home and basically start from zero. At least that was my perspective at the time. So remember when I was saying that I wanted to go back home to finish my studies and do my master's. So everyone was saying that maybe I should do my master's degree here because that will also like help me to find a job in the US. That's what I did. I have some fellows and alumni from the school, mostly from them. They were coming from the same school. And I start, doing inquiries, do research about that school, and do all the process I needed to do for me to go back and as a student this time, right? So from there, I have to go back again home to do my visa. So surprisingly, even during COVID, at the time it was 2021, and I have my...
When did you go back in 2020?
I came back July, I think. And I stayed in the US to do the process, and I booked my flight when I got an appointment at an embassy because I wanted to make sure I have an appointment. I didn't want to wait for months and months back home to be able to go back here again. So as soon as I have an appointment at an embassy, I booked my flight and went back again to the embassy, but this time changed to the F1 visa. As soon as
Was
I got
it difficult for you
No,
when they said asking?
I mean, again, I guess I'm lucky because I come from a country that we got appointments pretty fast. Yeah, the turnaround was pretty fast. But I know that some friends, they will do the process of adjusting their status here in the U.S. Because if they will leave the country, it will take months and months for them to go back. So for me, it was pretty. I think the appointment got it in 2 months. And from there, yes, as soon as I had my F1 visa, I came back to the US as a student this time.
So I think I want to emphasize a little bit and referring back to what she mentions about the J1 visa. So I think if you haven't watched the previous video that I share, it's like an hour long or 2 hours. The J1 stands for Exchange Visitor Program. So technically they have 15 categories there. And the first one is au pair educator, and then there's trainee, also coach, and then trainee, interns, and some people professor, teacher, and then all of that I listed. So if you guys actually haven't watched, you can go back and rewatch that video and learn more of the information that I share pretty long. But it's educate yourself a little bit. But actually she filled out, or she even was here on the J1 visa, but I list 2 subcategories on that category. So so it's at least you have a long history and actually experience in those visa, and then even coming to J1 to F1. And I always actually mention to people that know me that just follow the regulations and instructions. To actually complete your program, return home, you will guarantee to get a new visa and then change from J1 to F1, no problem. So don't try to actually go different routes and listen to like wrong people, because that's what actually affects your, your future if you actually listen to a wrong people. So that's just my perspective, and also these information is just sharing existing information from the USCIS. You have to go to that website to see, but we're not giving any legal advice. So just want to heads up. So yeah, so it's like so that's actually you moved to F1, and then so technically you studied master degree.
Yes, I did my master's degree here in the US in 1 year. I mean, that school offered this program of 1 year master, which was great, instead of 2 years, I think, here. And from there, I had a scholarship to do a second in 6 months, like an intensive program. So it took me about a year and a half to have a dual master's degree. And from
Dual
there,
master's?
yes, I have 2 masters at the end.
Where is that school?
That school, it's called Holt International Business School. So there's 2 in the US, 1 in San Francisco, and another campus in Boston. So my second year of the 6 months program, I had to go to Boston because the program I chose was marketing, and that was the only campus that was teaching in the US. Yeah.
I see. So technically, you still complete the master degree. Congrats anyway.
Thank you.
We
Thank
haven't
you.
met for so long, and it was like so fast.
I know.
After I only stayed in SF for like 6 months in the state. 6 months during COVID, and I moved to like Los Angeles, and that is where we haven't met each other. But every single time, every single year I go back here, I try to meet up with Laetitia, and then but the thing is, she was moved to Boston, and then we haven't met, and then this is actually the first time
Since last time we saw each other, I believe it was 2022. Well, sorry, 2022, right?
When is that?
For your birthday, you came here back to San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the last time I saw you.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. So
Right.
it's been 2 years, and it's like, yeah, we try to catch up again, and I'm glad that I have a chance to actually learn more about. So yeah, so after that, what changed?
So from there, as soon as you graduate here in the US with a US degree, as a foreigner, I mean international student, you are allowed to work in the US as any US citizen. So depending on the type of degrees you graduated, it's a length between 1 to 3 years. So for my case, business degrees, it's only 1 year work. And for
It's
OPT, yeah, it's called OPT, optional practice training. And for STEM degrees, engineer, software, any type of STEM degrees.
STEM stands for science, technology, engineer, and math.
Yeah. So for any degrees like that fit in this category, they are allowed to work up to 24 months.
Just 2 years.
2 years, about 2 years, yes. With an extension of 1 year, I believe. But yes, so mine was a business degree, so I only had 1 year degree. So I am actually still on my OPT year. It will end. It will end when you. So let me tell you the process quickly. So as soon as you graduated, you have to basically, a few months before you graduate, because you need to anticipate, you have to pick a date that you would like to start working. So it is, you have a 3 months, it's like timeline. It should be, well, so for my case, I graduated in April 2023, last year. And I was working already with company, and they wanted to hire me right away, so we didn't want to wait too long for me to restart working.
Yeah.
So I'm not allowed to work as soon as, so I worked with that company for about 6 months of my studies, and as an intern, part-time, what I was studying, and they wanted to hire me as an employee full-time as soon as I graduated.
Official. Employee.
Yeah, exactly. And so I graduated in April, but you're not allowed to work between your graduation and until you get your work
Working
permit.
permit,
Yeah. So for me, I did the process, I would say February, and I got like a month after, actually, I got a month after my work permit, so it was pretty fast. So we put the date of May 1st because we wanted to, they want me to work right away. But I know that some of my fellow, alumni now, students, they have to put, like, I guess if you didn't have a work and you want to have a time to find a work, you want to put the latest date that you could, which was June 1st, something like that. That was April, it was May, June, April, May, June. About those times, you have to pick a date for you to start working or for your work permit. For me, it was May 1st because I already had a company that wanted to work with me. But if you don't have, you want to have this time to find, job hunting, right? So there's a lot of my fellows, they would put June 1st up to July, I believe. So yeah, and for me, I started working with them right away and until December. And because they laid me off again, I feel like I have a history of laid off. But they laid me off because I think they were going through something in their company. But you know what?
I don't think it's because of you. It's just like,
no.
A lot of company here going through some stuff, and especially if it's not big enough to have like funding, everything, they have to end the contract because they're not even able to pay for their staffs. So, but
Yeah.
What happened after that?
So I was doing content creation on the side. I always been doing. I would say like I started taking it seriously like after COVID, like 2021. I started like doing content creation and all of that. So I was doing that on the side while I was working with my 9-to-5 marketing job, right? So I was like doing marketing events and social media for that company. And so after I got laid off, I took it as a sign to do full-time content creation, which I am doing right now. But like the goal, the end of the OPT is to be able to be sponsored by a company for H1B if you want to stay longer in the US, which allow you to stay up to 5 years after that if you got the H1B at the lottery. But that's another topic, which it wasn't my case. It was my goal at the moment because it was my last option. I feel like I used all the visas option at some point that I didn't know what to do. My last option was to find a company here in H1B and to be able to work longer and stay here longer in the US. But it turns out like I had another plan that it was actually a better one. But yes, I got married last summer. So I don't need to do all the visa process anymore. So we actually
The golden ticket.
I guess that's what it's called, right? So now we're going through the green card process. So I'm still in the green card process right now. But yes, no more visas, no more going to the embassy and everything because we're all doing from here since I'm in the US, which should be taking less longer than if I was outside the US. But that's another topic again we can talk.
Yeah. No, but I also want to say like congratulations.
Thank you.
Because it's like a long process for not only you but a lot of people actually on
I feel like
visa.
I've been through a lot in like almost 7 years, like different visa, three different visas.
Yeah. So it's not everybody actually try to become somebody here in the US, or like the final goal is always become citizen. So regardless of which route are you going, it's like you still try to reach the same destinations anyway. So even though we all try different ways, but like I said, it's just that. And I think I'm happy for you to hear that because it will take longer, a lot of like time and money perspective to going through like school after school because like as a student, like if you don't get any sponsorship or any like work guarantee to reach something, you have to like go back to school and keep climbing up and like keep browsing different options in order to like get sponsorship. And sometimes it's not easy for everybody, especially for people who don't have money. Like especially me, like I've been in school for 9 years, and then it's like just so unlucky. Even though I was in 2 type of visa, J1 for exchange student for university actually, I'm another tourism there. And then I moved, I went back home and changed to F1 visa, and I've been like school after school. So I went to school for 3 years, and then I was like double degree, just community college. So even though it's cheaper a little bit, but it's still a lot of money because we pay triple education, And then it's like COVID hit, I couldn't even find a sponsorship. So I totally like get it, like when you get even like a job offer, but if they not actually like sponsor you,
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a guarantee. So people think like, oh, if I get a job, like a certain degree, I will guarantee to get a sponsorship. Like no, life is not that easy. And,
Yeah.
like even for you, you went to master and then like
Yeah, I mean, the education here in the US, it's very expensive compared to Europe. Again, I mean, I literally have to put an investment on this, knowing that it wouldn't guarantee me that I will find a job or H1B at the end, right? But like I said, like I guess I was lucky that because in my case it turns out like to be even better than H1B at the end, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't risky actually, you know, move because I really put like my whole saving back home
Yeah.
for this degree in you know, in hope that I will get a job afterwards, right? But which, you know, even though you had a job during your OPT, it doesn't guarantee you will get sponsored for that with that company. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think your story will really resonate with a lot of people, even myself, because I'm jumping into so many institutions here in the US, from like Florida, Dallas, and then California. It's like so many schools, at least, I think let me count. One, UWF, University of West Florida, was like an exchange. So, and then like Richland College, Community College, and then I moved to Cali to one gap year to go OBT, and then COVID hit. I went to Chapel College in the Bay Area, and then another one is I moved back to LA for FIDM, FIDM for fashion school for like university. It's like private school. And then I moved to LACC, so it's like total 5 school, and it's like all my money, and it's not even like leading to anything. So that's the reason why I'm like was really run out and like broke. You know, but everybody trying, even myself, to keep finding the options. And then I was finding a different opportunity, and even I share with you guys on my social media or even like on YouTube about the EB3, the last categories for EB3 unskilled worker, because you only need a diploma for high school diploma to do this without any degree, and you can do it outside the country or inside the US to change your status, but you have to go to the rural area to work for a sponsor more than a year. But this is like more like a guarantee the type of visa, because technically, like those company or sponsor, they need people to work because it's lack of employment. And you guys actually can go back to those videos because I want to share really detail, but I just want to recap everything and learn more if you are interested and think this is another option for you to save money. But like I said, it's not a guarantee for everybody. Some people wait for like a year, they already get 10-year green card, and then some people wait for like 2, 4, 3 years. It's really different timelines, so just be patient. Like if you here 7 years, I'm here since 22 years earlier than you, so total 9 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't reached my goal yet, so I still keep like striving, and as long as you're not giving up or give up, you should be okay. So find a network or people who in your community and connect with them to see what are they doing and learn them from her. So I mean, like I said, I'm really happy to hear that now you change the situations and moving to a different journey.
Yeah.
So now when you're in your new journey right now, so what is your plan in the future?
So now that my study won't be an issue, again, I'm still in the process, so hopefully, the application will go through and be accepted to study here in the US. But yes, just doing what I love to do, keep doing that, content creation, really active on social media. That's my goal right now, just living, like, keep it chill, because I feel like over the years it's been so hard for me to reach that goal, so now I want to go slowly. And keep living my life. I don't have any, fixed goals so far. Obviously, like having my personal growth and career be wider in this field that I'm doing right now. But yeah, just keeping doing what I like to do, making more genuine connection, build more, friendship, travel the world if I can, and if the budget allow me to. But from there, that's how it's gonna happen, at least for a couple of years. But I think that later on, I would like to go back to Europe. Yes, yes. In terms of like maybe building a family there, or to retire. Yeah.
Well, I hope that, and I hope that you will get your applications and your green card soon. And I wish you all the best with your new journey and with your future, with your success. And then hope that when I come back to SF, we're gonna see each other again. I want to see a new thing, and then you like travel the world, and we will pay for you.
Yes, that would be great. I mean, that would be great if we get actual brands that I have with paid collabs that we get able to travel the world and spending no money. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you have any last words for people who actually see this?
Just follow your instincts. Don't think twice. Just do it. And if you have already your head straight forward, like go.
Just go for it.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the story of Laetitia, how she came here, and then what she's been through, and then hope you guys learned something new about different J1 visa and different categories. At the same time, if you have any questions for her or for me, or in general that we're capable to answer based on our knowledge, feel free to leave a comment and share to your friends who need to see this. And we hope to see you next time on the next podcast.
Bye.